Hey everyone, welcome to Adventures in Everyday Cooking, where every day can be an adventure in your kitchen. My name is Heather, and today we are gonna do an Irish recipe. Yes, it is the great month of March, and yes, I am Irish. Not full Irish, but I am quite a bit. I have Irish on both sides of my family, and one of my grandparents is 100%. So doing Irish recipes comes naturally to me. Not really. I mean, I want to say it comes naturally, but probably not. I do love corned beef and cabbage, but did you know that's not actually an Irish recipe? Oh well. So when we were deciding what to do this month for videos for Adventures in Everyday Cooking, I turned to my friend and my husband and I said, hey, what are some Irish recipes that sound good that I can adventure with? So they both set off to Googling, and the first one is meatballs in the air fryer in a Guinness sauce. So they're actually Guinness meatballs. There is Guinness Stout in the meatballs, and then the sauce is made with Guinness. Now, I'm not a very good Irish person, Irish woman, Irish man. I've actually never had Guinness before, so I will have to try a tiny bit to see what it tastes like. But if you don't use beer in your cooking, that's okay. This video will be for you to show you how to do meatballs in your air fryer, not necessarily the recipe. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so like I mentioned, we are doing meatballs in a Guinness sauce. So first of all, we are gonna start with the meatball. The original recipe that I found actually only called for ground beef, but ground beef, just plain ground beef and meatballs actually is kind of boring to me. So I am doing half ground beef and half ground pork. And it kind of works out in my favor because my ground beef is like 98% lean and my ground pork is, well, pork. And there's no lean in pork. I mean, I'm pretty sure that it's just like all fat. So it kind of works out. But neither of them have any flavorings in it. So it's just ground pork and ground beef. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 1 pound of each, and I am just going to mix it together well so that it kind of looks like one cohesive meat instead of two different meats. Next, we're gonna add garlic powder and pepper. We're just gonna add it right in the middle. We are going to add some Worcestershire sauce, 2 eggs, some finely chopped onion, and we're gonna go ahead and give that a mix now because I'll wait to put in my stout and my breadcrumbs until it's all mixed together. So I will just mix it real well. All right, with freshly washed hands, we are gonna go ahead and open up our extra stout Guinness beer. Okay, so we need about a cup of this stout. Whoa, that is like blacker than night. Wow. I will pour a tiny bit into a shot glass and take, ooh, smells like beer. These are meatballs for my husband. This was his idea. So, pre-warning, I may not like them. Actually, I mean, it's very hoppy, but it's not the most terrible beer I've ever tasted. So, would I drink it if I was out? Still no, it's still beer. All right, now to this mix, we are gonna add some stuffing mix that I have blitzed up in the food processor. Now, you can use any stuffing mix that you want. You can use gluten-free, you can use regular, you can use chicken, you can use sage. We are gonna use the gluten-free kind because I'm gluten-free, but be aware, this is anything. You can make it any way you want. Anything will work as long as they are basically a stuffing mix from a box that's all seasoned and ready to go. So most of our seasonings are coming from that stuffing mix. Okay, all right. Now I'm gonna grab a spatula and just push this around, and then we're gonna start adding our Guinness, I guess. I've never made this recipe, so I don't know. I'm gonna just add half for now and then see how things go. And then I'll add the other half. Oh, well, that soaked it up pretty well. So I guess, yep, Add the whole thing. All right, that looks like it's all incorporated and ready to go. All right, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make some meatballs. So here I have my tray for my air fryer and a little scoop. Now, if you don't have an air fryer and you wanna make these meatballs, they'll work in the oven, 400 degrees for 20-25 minutes-ish, maybe 15, depending on the size of your meatballs. I'm making kind of small meatballs, so I'm assuming it will take 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm just gonna take some of my meatball, like that, roll it around, and they are pretty soft meatballs. So hopefully, oh, I forgot to spray my tray. Let me spray the tray. We're gonna use the Pampered Chef spritzer, and I'm just gonna spray the tray so that they don't stick. And I don't know if you can see down here, I have a piece of parchment paper right underneath my tray because then my spray isn't all over the place. Okay, so I'm just gonna put my meatballs on my tray, probably about ½ an inch apart. All right, now 2 pounds of this mix makes exactly 40 small meatballs. So 1 pound will make 20. All of them did not fit on my trays. I wonder if I could, no, we're not gonna push it. I probably could move them all over and get the extra meatballs in, but I don't mind cooking another round. So it's fine. All right, let's get these in to our air fryer. So I'm gonna put one on the top and one in the middle. And we are going to set it to custom. Let's start with 15 minutes and 400 degrees. All right, let me clean up just a little bit and then I'll show you how to put together this sauce. All right, now it's time for the sauce. Now this sauce only takes about 10 minutes. So we are going to pop open our beers. We're actually going to need 4 beers for this sauce. So it better be a good sauce. Okay, so our beers are in. Now we're gonna add some barbecue sauce, some honey, some molasses, some dry mustard, garlic powder and salt, and a chopped onion. All right, let's give that a good mix. All right, so once this comes to a simmer, we're gonna let it simmer for 10 minutes. At the end of 10 minutes, we're gonna add a little bit of this sauce in with some cornstarch, make a slurry, and then thicken that up. Once that's thick and our meatballs are done, it'll be time for the taste test. I can honestly say that I don't smell beer, even though I have all of this beer and all of that beer. I don't smell beer in this concoction. I smell a lot of honey and sweet stuff, but I don't smell beer, which is weird because I just poured 4 bottles of beer into this pan. Oh well, okay, I'll be back here when 10 minutes of simmering is up. All right, the meatballs are ready to come out, but the sauce isn't quite ready yet. But wow, look at that. Those ones got a little toasty. Oops. Look at those. Beautiful. Okay, so the meatballs are done. The last set is in. However, when I was taking the meatballs off of the tray, you'll see that I did not spray my trays well enough. So all of the meatballs stuck. So all my meatballs look a little sad on the bottom. But the top of the meatball looks great. They look almost like IKEA meatballs. So I kind of want to taste one without being in the sauce. So the sauce isn't quite ready yet. Has about another minute and a half. So I figured I would taste the meatball first for you to see what they taste like. It smells like a meatball. Ooh, good crunchy. Crunchy outside, soft inside. Not bad. I feel like it's lacking a little salt. In fact, it needs salt. That's weird. Maybe it's because this is salty. We'll go with that. So the recipe itself just needs salt, the meatball. But the flavor's good. The flavor is there. I like that. All right. So we're gonna fish out a little bit of this sauce and put it in our cornstarch. And then we're gonna give that cornstarch a little mix. There we go. Looks beautiful. We'll go ahead and add that all in. All right, and I guess we're just gonna let that thicken up, and as soon as I see it thicken up, we will call it good. And the meatballs took about 20 to 25 minutes total. I think it would have been more like 20 minutes, but I actually forgot to swap them at the halfway mark, so I put them in for a little bit extra time just to brown the top ones or the bottom ones a little bit more. Make sure you swap them halfway through. All right, I'm gonna grab a spoon and check thickness. So I'm gonna do the drag. Not quite thick enough yet, I don't think. All right, we're gonna call that good for the moment. And the other meatballs are ready to be flipped around, but there's only 8, so I'm not gonna flip them. Okay, so let's try these meatballs. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple meatballs on my tray, and we will pour on the sauce. Wow, looking at the sauce, it looks quite beautiful. And I know that the meatball itself requires a little bit of salt. So let's hope the broth or the sauce is salty. So let's go ahead and taste one. Here we go. Oh. Nope. Ew. I'm going to just sprinkle a little salt, see if that does any damage control, but I'm pretty sure that I do not like stout meatballs. No, no, But just because I don't like it doesn't mean that you won't like it if you like Guinness, because I'm pretty sure that tastes like Guinness is poured on my meatballs. And some people might like it, but I don't like it. But we did find out that using your air fryer to make meatballs is very valid. So it's not all for a loss. I know my Irish ancestors are probably rolling over in their graves like, that woman doesn't like Guinness? What? I can't help it. I don't know. I'm trying to decide how on earth I could even, like, if someone served me this in a restaurant, I don't even think that I would eat it. I think I would be like, all right, well, I'm having salad today. The meatballs themselves are good. Let me try them with a little salt. Now, the meatballs themselves are really good. They just need some salt. There was no salt in the seasoning mix, or there was no salt in the recipe at all. So I would definitely add some salt to that recipe, which I will write in the recipe when I share it with you. But the sauce, it's use at your own risk. If you like stout, you may really like this recipe. However, yeah, not so much. So, oh well. All right, so I have invited my husband in because he likes beer, and we're gonna see if it's a good recipe and it's just me. So, go for it.
Good.
So it's just me. I don't like stout. I'm a bad Irish woman. Shame. Oh, the shame. Oh, the shame. Well, I have some meatballs for you.
Thank you.
I have some extra too.
All right.
See, there you have it. Not every recipe is for everybody, and that's why we adventure in the kitchen. Maybe I'll try it again. Maybe I'll try stout in another recipe. Maybe, just maybe. I do have one more bottle of stout. Maybe the next recipe will be with that stout, and maybe it will be good, or maybe it will be really bad and something else for my husband to have for many days to come. I don't know. It's just the truth. I guess I just don't like beer. I mean, I knew I didn't like beer, but I thought maybe if I like beer bread, maybe I'll just make a stout beer bread. The other meatballs are done. So I guess that's my signal to say that's it for me. If you enjoyed that video, give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. Don't believe everything that you hear from me, obviously, because while I liked the meatballs and they needed a little salt, I didn't like the sauce, but together my husband said they were wonderful. So that's why we adventure. That's why we try new things, and that's why we broaden our horizons to new ideas. So if you have an idea for me, leave it in the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next adventure. Just not with that, but maybe that, not that. All right, you guys, we'll see you later. Bye.